We got ourselves a new author. Like, the more I look at this, the more I'm just not seeing... As we already read of theirs. Sound Chaser is the author's name. Yeah, I think this is the first one of the SCPs we get to read. Okay. They have a couple. They have a few out here. All over the different series. That's cool. So we will not get Sound Chaser as consistent as most other authors, but we'll get them. We get them occasionally. Sound Chaser, the first SCP we get to read from you is called Won't Get Fooled Again. Oh, they're gonna get fooled now. You silly boy. Of your class Euclid. If contained procedures, SCP-2907 is to be contained in a circular plot of land in the vicinity of Site 135, 300 meters in radius, with -1 in the center. This land is to be cordoned off as private property. At 9 local time daily, 2 earthworms are to be placed in the area of effect. Duke it out. -1 is the carcass of an unidentified species of priapulloid worm. It is similar in appearance to Otoya prolifica, a species that has been extinct since Middle Cambrian period, approximately 505 million years ago. -1 does not undergo decomposition, and its state has remained unchanged since containment began in 1978. Most of the time, -1 exerts a compulsive effect on several phyla of worm within a 143 meter radius. When a susceptible organism enters this range, it will be compelled to seek out -1 and touch it. Upon contact, it will become instances of either -2A or -2B. Instances will not leave the area of effect voluntarily, and those physically removed no longer show any signs of unusual behavior, although they will display extreme aversion to returning if less than 5 susceptible organisms enter the area of effect. The span of 27 hours. Instance of -2 will manifest until the number of instances has been reached. It's currently unknown where the mass of these worms originates. I need to read this again because I was somewhere else in my mind. And that's a call. And -2 is what? Okay, gotcha. Instance of -2A form a far more cohesive unit than it is natural, regardless of species working together to create complex tunnel systems with individuals' area for water storage and for young to develop. Instances of -2B patrol the surface above the colony and attempt to impede the progress of any foreign object or organization or organism. In the colony, instances will protect worms under -1's initial effect, escorting them to it and ensuring physical contact. Exception to this species of ragworms, which will be met with extreme hostility, instances of -2B will wrap themselves around any ragworm within the area of effect and pull them apart, before burying the remains within the colony. Periodically, the SCP-2907 will undergo what is referred to as a seeing event. During this, all instances of -2 will attack -1 and pull it apart, before scattering its pieces around the area of effect. After this, no instance will display any evidence of being under SCP-2907's influence. -1 will reconstitute itself over a period of approximately 40 days, after which its compulsive effect returns. During SCP-2907 containment, 32 seeing events have occurred. The duration between each event varies, but there has been a general positive trend. The significance of this is unknown. Addendum 7. Addendum 7? On the 12th, 9th, 80th, during a routine inspection, researcher Black reported hearing an unintelligible voice inside SCP-2907's containment that increased slightly in volume the closer she was to -1, which was supported by several assistants. Researcher Black suggested that audio equipment and tape recorders be introduced to the containment area to amplify the voice in order to ascertain whether there was actual speech. Her request was granted and the equipment introduced after the next seeing event. As a result, a voice of indeterminate sex became audible, speaking modern French. From then on, at the same time every week, a different speech in the same voice will be transmitted for approximately 1 hour. Addendum 12. What? What? Yeah, no, 12 is competent, not prime. Yeah. I wonder why it's 7, 12, 18. Interesting. Except from speech 7th, 11th, 1983. Now I know some of you may have misgivings about our work here. And of course, that's perfectly understandable. But where would any of us be without taking leaps? I can assure you, we are moving towards a glorious era, and my hearts go out to those unable to see it. I may not know whether you can understand this, and even if you can, I may not know how much stock you put in my words. But I hope that you know that we are working for will come to pass, and that you are as eager to see the great day as I am. Incident 1 on the 9th 6th 1986, 926 days after the end of the previous seeing event, long time span recorded. The action was observed to shudder before expanding and bursting immediately after. All -2 instances, approximately 4,892, also exploded. Approximately 5 minutes later, the speakers emitted a message from a previously unheard voice. Also of indeterminate sex in an unknown language. This was followed by presumably a second message in modern French. Dashron reconstituted over the next 40 days with no apparent effects on its anomalous nature, although it was later discovered that since this event it will only manifest 2 worms every 27 hours. Addendum 18. Transcript of second message. We must admit, we're unsure if you can understand. We must admit, we are unsure if you can understand this. But from what we can see over there, it talks this language, and we are hoping that it is correct in doing so. Given that we have not had to intervene as much recently, we are assuming that someone over there is cutting off its access to troops, for which we thank you. It fully deserves everything it is getting. Don't believe its lies. We cannot afford to expend so much energy on something if this scale constantly. So we need you and your efforts too, so we can simply free you, or whoever has enslaved. Please don't let us down. So these worms are busy. These worms are got a whole task ahead of them. God damn. Starting to feel a little bit sleepy, gotta say. But there's only 2 more left. There's only 2 more left. We'll send a message to a friend real quick.